So I've been kind of blowing off making this video, mostly because I don't want to talk about it because it makes me angry thinking about it. But it's been a little over a year now since eBay tried to ban me for having a great week. And I just kind of wanted to talk about basically the future of my business and what has happened since then. So last year, after eBay tried to ban me for selling too much, um, guess this a summary for people who don't know what happened. Basically, what happened was I sold some networking equipment to somebody with it was basically a business account on eBay, and by that I mean that they jumped through the hoops to not pay sales tax, which requires you to supply relevant business information and tax forms. But I think it was like $9,600 worth of networking equipment. And 5 hours after they paid for the item, eBay froze my funds and said that my account was under review. And I probably should have double checked the timetable because I'm kind of forgetting myself. But if I remember right, it was about like a week. No, I think it was 5 days. 5 days, I think it was, or it was 5 to 7 days after they froze my funds, basically. Um, they then banned me, permanent suspension for breaking. I really should have. I really should have looked this up. I really don't want to make this video at the same time. Um, what was the policy? Basically, is like a policy for avoiding bans and having multiple accounts. Um, and in that email they sent me where it listed the accounts in question, it was just a blank space. So they were accusing me of something that I don't even know. A lot of it just kind of felt automated. And what it came down to was the fact that uh, apparently they decided they didn't trust me anymore, even though I've been selling on eBay for, I think 14, 15 years at that point, basically. And yeah, so they wanted me to like prove that I am who I claim I am. And they wanted me to provide itemized invoices in PDF format, which, like, I'm an electronics recycling company. Even this stuff you're looking at here, this is stuff that's being consigned. So I have a customer that's consigning 300 Dell monitors to me right now to sell for them. And like, I don't get an itemized invoice. And the other thing is, like, as a recycling company, I don't discuss who my customers are. I'll give you like generic explanations, but I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, I do recycling for McDonald's and Walmart and whatever. No, it's I do recycling for medium to small businesses and some government organizations because it's a privacy thing. I'm a big believer in protecting user information, not just through data destruction, but I don't like telling people who my customers are because I feel like that's bad security. I mean, who my customers are, they're probably not worth targeting for stealing data or whatever, but like it just kind of comes down to that whole data security thing. So, anyways, I guess try to keep on topic here. um, it's about a month of fighting with eBay to get my primary selling account back. Because I knew that I have two accounts, but like when they supplied the reason for the ban, they didn't list those accounts as like the violation of eBay policy or whatever. And I told the people, it's like, this is ridiculous. Before I started selling on my second account, I called you guys and I made sure, that, hey, this is what I plan on doing. And is this going to be okay? And they're like, yeah, we'll put a note on your account. Feel free to start listing stuff. If you have any problems, call us. And of course, that was, oh, just for perspective, that was, I believe, a little over a year before I got banned for selling for selling too much on my primary account. Um, But yeah, so that was a whole other fiasco where that account got permanently suspended because, oh, high risk activity. You're trying to sell stuff on an account. It's like, what is wrong with you people? They're just, the people that work for eBay are just idiots. Absolute idiots. But yeah, anyways, I cannot stand topics. This just, thinking about this makes me angry, especially with all the time I've put into building eBay's business instead of mine because I'm stupid like that. Um, yeah, a month of fighting with eBay though. I got my primary selling account back. They crippled that account, limited how much I could sell. I'm still fighting with that. The limits on that account now are fairly high. It's not like things were before where I basically had no limits because I was a legacy account. So like now, I don't know what my limits are, but let's say I can list $200,000 worth of inventory and or have I explained that wrong. So let's say right now my limit is $200,000 a month, and that's a combination of my sales volume plus inventory. Well, let's say I get lucky all of a sudden and I have now we'll pretend that pallet was a bunch of 100 gigabit switches and it's worth $1 million or whatever. Well, can't list that on eBay because now I have selling limits. I really shouldn't be complaining about the selling limits because everyone else has them. It's just with a legacy account, you unless eBay tax your business, like in my case, you don't have any limits to how much you can list. Which is actually probably a good reason why scammers target accounts like mine, but I don't have enough exposure for anybody to care. But yeah, I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, so got my primary account back. Secondary account's still doing fine. Basically, at this point, eBay's made it quite clear that they don't value my business and they don't want me selling high value stuff on their site because um, not just the sales volume that I lost, because I think that month, if things would have kept tracking the way they were, I was probably gonna do 20,000 in sales on eBay. But then on top of that, I lost income from stuff that lost value during that month because last year and still this year, everything price wise is just kind of crashing for the most part. So yeah, eBay cost me a ton of money just because the people there are idiots and their automated systems are stupid. But yeah, so kind of in retaliation, although it's not even really that, it's just a smart thing to do. What I've done is I've started diverting a lot of my business away from eBay. And last year, I diverted about $50,000 of items, I believe, from eBay that would have gone on eBay and would have sold on eBay. And I should talk about the money aspect things. I'm not really going to stay on topic with this, but like, I'm a business, I'm a small business. When I'm saying these numbers, I understand like the way I'm saying them makes them sound insignificant. Um, the thing about these numbers when I say them, like on the high end, I'm probably profiting like 20% just because I'm very frugal and careful about the inventory I buy and sell. But like in the real world, business world, like $50,000 is nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. I'm a small business, so but um yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I diverted about $50,000 of inventory from eBay, which probably saved me, I would say around like $4,000 in fees, 3,000 on the low end. So that even on the low end, that's $3,000 less eBay made last year off of me. And this year, even though the year's not very far in, I'm probably going to triple that amount. And a lot of that's because of all these monitors you see here. So, I mean, there's like 300 monitors here. Um, I have a customer that's consigning them to me, and I'm taking a small commission off the top of that. So my margins on these aren't going to be very good. I'm making, I think I'm going to make like 10% profit on these basically. But the reason I'm doing it is because it's an easy deal. Realistically, if I want to make more money, I should be buying these from my customer for what they're going to get after the commission I take. But I just don't want to deal with it because if I buy these, I'm going to have to sell them on eBay. There are other sites I could sell these monitors on, like Newegg, but I'm a one-man business, and it's probably hard to tell, but there's a lot of stuff in my building, and I don't make enough money to keep on top of everything and pay employees, unfortunately. There's some reasons for that, but it's complicated. But yeah, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, there's money to be made. I could sell. I don't know what these are Dell P22 19H monitors. They're nice bezel-less 22-inch 1080p IPS monitors. Beautiful image. I love them. I think on the low end they're worth $100 on eBay, but like it just doesn't make sense. The risk is too great. Like eBay's if so, like if someone buys a bunch of these from me on eBay, it's gonna be a pain to do shipping because I don't know how to do freight, and eBay's gonna try to screw me over if something goes wrong. So like if I sell these in bulk and I say, buyer needs to arrange their own freight, and then the buyer decides, oh, well, I don't want these anymore, I want my money back, eBay is going to be like, oh, well, I understand that the buyer may have arranged freight, but you need to provide the buyer a way to ship the item back, or we're going to let the buyer keep the item and their money. Versus if I sell these individually, I might get somebody who doesn't know how to hook a monitor up for some reason, but they're buying them. And then when they return that, well, I'm out the round trip shipping costs. And it's like, well, it sucks to suck, I guess. So there's just no incentive to sell stuff on eBay if I can sell it elsewhere. And basically, my goal has been exceeded so far this year, mostly because of a strange windfall that I wasn't expecting. But I'm basically going to triple last year's amount. And I want to push to see if I can take $150,000 worth of sales off of eBay. And then I've been doing more local stuff, and I've done a few auctions, which I guess technically be local also. I'm doing more direct sales. I'm trying to find buyers. So like I have a buyer that's buying all of these monitors, and just go for a little walk here. Oop. Try not to hit the tripod. And I got these monitors that are going out. I had the video I made where I was palletizing a bunch of other monitors. Sorry for the shaky camera. Holding my tripod instead of the camera. So this is one of the pallets that was in that video. Unfortunately, I was being dumb. The customer only wanted 200 monitors, and I think with this pallet, it was going to put the count at like 230. So this one is in limbo till now. It's finally going out because they're ready for these along with those Dells. But yeah, it's just, I could probably make more money selling these on eBay, but there's just no incentive. I'm better off as a business not selling stuff on eBay because eBay is going to go out of their way to screw me over. And it's like, well, why bother? And eBay has proven now that they've gotten bigger that they're a scummy company. The CEOs and stuff have been involved in stalking scandals, and the company's a big revolving door of CEOs and leadership. I don't even know if they have many people in their leadership that have been there for more than a couple of years. Um, and then I think there was some thing that they were trying to do. I don't know if it's like union busting or what it was, but there's some company or something that they were getting involved with, and I don't know. I'll try to put some links to some articles of the stuff that eBay's been up to recently that's kind of scummy sounding. But yeah, so eBay, they tried to screw me over last year. Sure, it wasn't totally malice. Initially, it was automation, but like there was the point where it actually was malice and there was a human involved. So, you know, as far as eBay is concerned, they can, go to hell. uh, but unfortunately, I do still need eBay to some degree. I need to work on my own website. I was looking into, I think it was Squarespace. Yeah, I think that's the one that all the YouTubers are advertising. But, or no, Shopify, the other S. There's so many S named. Oh, man. Yeah, Shopify. But I didn't know what to do with like sales tax and stuff because everyone's making the laws a pain now and stuff. I wish they would just say that you'd have to self-report because that's what I do as a business. I've been doing it for years upon years now, where if I buy something online and I'm not charged sales tax and it's not for resale purposes, then I submit use tax to the state and it's whatever. I'd rather not pay sales tax, but yeah, I try to do things right so I don't get in trouble. But yeah, that's really the next step is I need to make my own website. I'm going to have to drive traffic to it, which will probably be the purpose of the YouTube channel. And then from there, I don't really know. I would like an employee, but the problem with having employees is it's expensive. And I don't think I can afford to hire somebody that's at a skill level comparable to my own, even though that's debatable sometimes. But I mean, there's just certain things like I can't trust my business, the company, with something like, let's say, this laptop here. If I sell this laptop and I have an employee process it, let's see here. Can I trust them to make sure the hard drive's gone? Caddy's there. I mean, there's a hard drive in there. So I don't know if that's like a risk, how to mitigate that basically. I'd have to find somebody that's at a similar technical level than I'm at. And I don't think I'd be able to afford to pay them enough to have them justify the job. Granted, I've heard that some of these places that people work at don't pay their employees very well. I don't even know like what I would pay them. I mean, obviously not minimum wage because I need someone smart that'll do a good job. But I mean, how am I gonna find somebody that I can afford to pay that's gonna know the difference between a laptop and the Sony PVM, and I got that through-hole copper electroplating machine for PCBs I need to sell one of these days. There's just a lot of weird specialty stuff that I have that I need to sell. Yeah, I got this pick and place machine. And yeah, I could hire somebody just to work on PCs, but I don't know. It's just kind of one of those weird things where I just don't know what to do, and trying to figure out pay and tax liabilities and legal liabilities and stuff like that. Like, I believe if I have more than just me, then I'm going to be subject to OSHA. And I don't think, actually, no, I got a worse one to show. I don't think OSHA would feel very highly of this palette here, especially how it's loosely stacked. I don't know if somebody could bump into that and knock the tower over and hit themselves in the head. I mean, it is a valid concern. Or like that desk up there on the rack. I don't think that would fly under OSHA. I'm not 100% certain though. If I get employees, I'm definitely gonna have to go to like some sort of OSHA training course if such a thing exists. I don't even know because like when I learned that I was subject to DOT regulations, I called the state patrol and I was like, hey, I'm under the understanding that since I'm a business, I have to abide by DOT and something about 10,000 pounds or whatever. And the state patrol person on the phone was like, oh, yeah, if you're over 10,000 pounds vehicle and anything attached to it, then you need to have a DOT number and follow these regulations. And it's like, okay, well, is there like a training thing I can go, a class I can pay to go to or whatever? And they're like, no, we don't have anything like that. It's like, okay, so this isn't anything to do with safety then. This is just a way for you guys to ticket people. Because, like, if I genuinely want to do the right thing, but you guys don't offer or recommend an avenue for me to do the right thing, it's like, what is this really about? So that's kind of one of the other things I'm up against. And even then, it's not even just, well, I think it does fall under OSHA. I forget what you call them, MSDS safety sheets or something like that. Basically, you have to have a booklet for all the chemicals and stuff that are in your building, what to do if your employee decides to drink a bottle of Windex or spray the bottle of Windex in their eyes. And it's just a lot of stuff. And if people made it easy to do, then I'm more than happy to do it. I totally get that this 7-foot tall stack of computers is not at all safe. Personally, I don't care. I mean, I'm not an idiot, so like, don't bump into it. Don't like it's simple, but yeah, there's other hoops I'd have to jump into, and I'd rather. I'd like to say I'd rather this be something I enjoy, but I don't enjoy it half the time anymore. I don't know. I'd rather this be something that is enjoyable than be a headache. So, I don't know. The whole tax side of things sucks enough as it is because every year something changes, and because my accountant that I love and adore is a stickler for the rules, I have to make sure I keep up on things and understand things, and it's just it never ends. But yeah, I don't know. Whoops, tripod's hitting stuff. I don't really know for sure what the future holds of the business. Definitely gonna be doing more stuff away from eBay. It's just rotate the tripod on through. I don't know. I still unfortunately need eBay, which I hate. I hate the fact that I need the stupid site to run my business. But in the end, the more stuff I can divert, like the monitors and some of the networking gear that I sell directly to a customer, like those Cisco switches, the better, because at this point, it's my intention to do everything I can to not rely on eBay anymore, because eBay has thoroughly proven themselves. They're a company you cannot rely on or trust. And I think I'll leave it at that. So hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching.